fresh off the presses, a future Hall of Fame left tackle has entered the chat for free agency in 2024. And this is huge and correlates directly to our Washington Commanders. So let's get right to it. Ian Rappaport reported yesterday, end of an era. Cowboys All-Pro and Pro Bowl left tackle TYRON Smith will be a free agent and is unlikely to return to Dallas, sources say. The blindside protector since 2011, Smith will be highly coveted in free agency. And I had to jump right on this one because this is a very interesting conversation for a multitude of reasons. One, starting with the Dallas aspect of it, for the first time in 13 years, Dallas does not have a clear solution at blindside protector for quarterback Dak Prescott. This has been their stalwart bookend left tackle for the last 13 years when they selected TYRON 9th overall. I believe it was the first offensive lineman selected in the first round of Jerry Jones' entire tenure of an owner, since he's owned the team since 1989. But this is huge. So that's a guy Jerry holds precious and close to his heart. He will be testing free agency as a 33-year-old, often injured left tackle. My curiosity goes like this. Is he searching for a bag? Is he searching to ring chase? They've always been in contention, somewhat, put it in quotes when it's Dallas, because them boys never live up to any expectations. But I don't think this is a ring chasing type situation. I think he's just looking for a fresh start, new surroundings, and more money than Dallas is going to offer him, because I believe Catboy over there in Arlington, Texas, was about to offer him an incentive-laden deal. And I'm not mad at Dallas for doing such, because despite the fact that this is a two-time first-team All-Pro left tackle, a three-time second-team All-Pro left tackle, an 8-time Pro Bowler, including 7 years in a row between 2013 and 2019. He made the all-decade team. He's been nice ever since they drafted him, and they selected him as a right tackle and then moved him into the left tackle spot. But despite all of that, TYRON Smith comes with a gaudy, super extendo clip of injury history. I'm talking, this dude's body has been put through the goddamn ringer over the last decade. He had a neck injury and a back injury in 2023. In 2022, he suffered a torn hamstring in practice. He was placed on IR, activated later in December, made his week debut. He made his season debut in week 15. 2021, he suffered multiple ankle injuries that lingered throughout the season. He missed weeks 9 through 15 and 16 due to the injuries. Ended up starting only 11 games that year. 2020, he'd been bothered by a neck issue that had been spanning over the past couple years. He opted to forego the rest of the 2020 season after choosing to have surgery on his neck and was subsequently placed on injury reserve. 2019, he started 13 games. 2018, he started 13, missing 3 of them with an injury. And as far as you can go back, this guy had hella injury. In 2017 was marred by a neck injury, a back injury, a groin injury, a hip, my neck, my back, my neck, my back. TYRON Smith has been injured his whole goddamn career in Dallas. But despite all the injuries, this guy and his big, long-ass cyborg, double-sleeved up arms has put together a Hall of Fame resume, despite the fact that his body's got beaten to shit in his 13-year tenure in Dallas. So marvel at the resiliency, at the fact that no matter how many times and how severe some of these injuries were, every time he got back, he got right back to his bullshit. He got right back to eliteness. His game never regressed. He was a top 10 tackle again this year. He always comes back from the injuries, and Pro Football Focus currently has him projected to get a 1 or 2 year contract, making around $10 million a year. You know who can afford a 1 or 2 year contract? for $10 million a year. She could throw an extra mill or two on top of it because this is a Hall of Fame guy. You guessed it, Adam Peters and our Washington Commanders. And who better to know exactly what Tyron Smith has left in the tank than our current head coach, who just spent a half a decade in Dallas coaching the defense that practices against Tyron Smith. He knows the character, he knows the mental makeup, and he knows exactly what that body has left. What Dallas should have done with Tyron Smith is made sure he was around to usher in and mentor and Jedi train the next left tackle that they will probably draft in the first or second round of the NFL draft this year. But since they missed out on that opportunity, I want that for us. I think Washington should prioritize bringing in Tyron Smith to be our starting left tackle for at least one season. Here's why. I know for sure we are drafting a left tackle in the second round or in a trade back up into the first round and give him the Tyron Smith treatment. Tyron Smith was a right tackle when they drafted him, starting opposite Dave Free, Doug Free, whatever the fuck his name was. And after a year, they said, nah, this nigga's nice. We're going to put him on the left side. What we can do with Tyron Smith is all we need out of you, my guy, is 1 year doing what you do, being a big, nasty mauler, put them long-ass cyborg arms on some boys for 17 weeks. And while you do that, mentor the young tackle that we're going to put opposite of you, because I'm cutting Andrew Wiley. I'm cutting him or I'm forcing him to play left guard. I am not trotting turnstile Andrew Wiley back out at right tackle this year. I'm signing Tyron Smith in the waking hours of free agency, not a break the bank deal. Give him 10, 11 million a season. Give him a year or two. Give him 2 years and only guarantee one. Just give him some Skrilla on top, some guaranteed money. Put that extra Hall of Fame, future Hall of Fame tax on it. And you bring this guy in for a year because we're going to draft multiple offensive linemen in the 2024 draft. Who better to groom and mentor these boys than a guy who's going to wear a fucking gold jacket with a bust of himself in Canton, Ohio one day? 8 Pro Bowls, 5 All-Pro trips. Come on, man. I know the injury history is scary. It's terrifying, but the tackle class, he is the tackle class. He's the only left tackle for real, anybody needs to trifle with when it comes to free agency. So my plan would be assign Tyron Smith to that 1 or 2 year deal, guarantee one, just in case the injury history starts to come back. And then you go trade back to the end of the first round and go get you a Jordan Morgan, a Tyler Guyton, a Troy Fontenot, Kingsley Suamataia. Go get one of those guys, put him at right tackle. So we got a rook on one side and a grizzled, nasty vet on the left side who can get him right, who can mentor him. And when Tyron Smith retires or leaves in a year or two, pop that young guy on the left side, rinse, wash, repeat. It could be that simple because we cut our starting left tackle, Charles Leno Jr., the other day. And this is what we have on the roster at tackle right now. Alex Akingabaloo, Cornelius Lucas, Trent Scott, Andrew Wiley, Mason Brooks. There ain't a proven or viable option on that skimp, bare bones ass roster as we speak. So Tyron Smith would be very high on my list. Maybe he was a part of the plans. We have the inside scoop of what's happening in Dallas because the head coach we hired to run the show here in DC has been in that building for quite some time. So if any of the Dallas guys hit free agency, I feel like we have a leg up. We have an advantage if we want to sign any of those guys because they know DQ. Even though Tyron Smith didn't play on the side of the ball that DQ coaches, guys love and respect the moxie of Dan Quinn. And I never discount the fact that guys like to play against the team they left when they leave in free agency. Guys like to, go back and stick it to him a little bit. He's going to get a bust one day for his career that he put wearing a Dallas Cowboys uniform, but why not go stick it to the Cowboys for a little bit while protecting Washington's young investment at quarterback that we'll be selecting here at number 2. But I just wanted to get into the conversation because Washington is going to revamp the offensive line in 2024 in free agency and most importantly in the draft, because Adam Peters keeps hammering home we want to build through the draft and supplement through free agency. This to me seems very qualified as supplementing because that's a starting left tackle. That's a mentor. That's a building block of the offense because he can get our young tackle that we're going to draft in April. He can get him right. He can get them right, man. And I think we have a leg up in that conversation. I'm not necessarily saying he's just going to go ring chase. Let me go try to get on Kansas City or let me go try to take pennies to go work for. No, he wants one more payday before he's out of here. 13 seasons in a CVS receipt long injury history. He trying to cash out one more time. Might as well do it in burgundy and gold because we have a monumental sized hole at left tackle as we speak. And I think that would be the perfect way to kick off Washington's 2024 free agency, the first under Adam Peters and Dan Quinn's tutelage. Come on down, Tyron. Come on down. I forgot what it's like to see a Hall of Fame left tackle play, man. I miss Trent Williams so much, but Trent's 35 and he's still elite. Injury history and as long as Tyron's, but Tyron's still a dog. That's still a top 10 tackle in this league when healthy. And despite the fact that his body has been through the ringer, every time he's on the field, he dominates. He gets them paws on dudes, and there's nothing else you can do. And how fitting it is to we're talking about a left tackle today because today is the conclusion of the NFL Draft Combine, a day I'll be paying almost the most attention to because today is the day where offensive linemen get busy. I will be watching the tackles, the guards, the centers, all the big uglies getting down in Mobile today, moving them 330-pound bodies around. What Mike Mayock say? Look at that bubble butt. I'm gonna be locked in watching these bubble butts run around. Pause. But you know what I'm saying, man. I'm wilding, man. It's Sunday morning. I'm feeling lovely. Actually got some rest last night. I'm ready to watch some big uglies run around in Indy. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. I think Washington should definitely offer a contract to Tyron Smith in the offseason. And I think that would be a wonderful start to free agency for our Washington Commanders. We don't need to offer him a long-term deal as a 33-year-old, 13-year, often injured tackle, but we can shoe him in, pencil him in as the bookend left tackle for at least a year, maybe 2. Draft a guy to put opposite him and slide the rookie there when it's his turn to leave. It makes a lot of sense to me. Let me know what you guys think. And don't be in my comments talking that stupid shit like, I don't want him. He's a Cowboy. This is not Madden. This is real life. You take talent wherever it's coming from. I don't give a fuck that he's coming from Dallas. I see more benefits than that, than things to detract from it. Make your enemies weaker. We already took their defensive staff. I imagine a couple of their free agencies on the defensive side of the ball will be sliding through Washington once free agency gets underway. Might as well bring their Hall of Fame bookend left tackle of the last 13 years to come down to Washington and block for Drake May, Jaden Daniels, or Caleb Williams. I'm here for it. Let's make it happen. Tyron Smith, come on down to Washington and let's get busy. I'm trying to get I'm trying to see them double-sleeved extendo cyborg arms in a Commander's uniform at Commander's Field because FedEx is no longer. We never have to call that toilet bowl stadium FedEx ever again. But that's all I got for right now. Until next time, y'all know the vibrations. Hail to the Washington Commanders. Commander Rio, out.